So the next question, we'll talk about what tools to use and what tools to make sure you either have in the possession or don't have in the possession of the young oboist. Um, and that's come up. Brent, why don't you tell us about your recommendations for what they should have, what they shouldn't have, and why they should avoid one of those tools?
Uh, with all of my years of teaching and playing, I don't think a beginning student should have any tools whatsoever. If they have a private teacher that can guide them with how to use a screwdriver and a knife, there are all sorts of different tools, an octave vent remover, a spring hook. Students that don't have a private teacher don't need any of those. They have no instruction of how they work, how they can mess your oboe up, how you can ruin your oboe. Um, in the philosophy of a beginning student that basically has a band director as a guide, um, if you have a problem with your instrument, go to your band director. Go say, my oboe is doing this or that. Your director will be able to best assess or be able to have the resources to figure out what you need. And we've talked about this before. I can't tell you how many times a student, either it was a bad read or something wasn't working, and they started just looking at the instrument, and even on an instrument that's a professional instrument, there are screws on here that look like they're loose because they're hanging out of the screw chamber, and it looks like they're coming out. Well, these are adjustment screws. They're not meant to be tight. They're not meant to be in all the way. And I've had parents and students that have literally gone from the top to the bottom, tightened every single screw, and the oboe then becomes completely unplayable. It's a lamp. It literally will not play a note. So again, a beginning student should not have a screwdriver. They don't know how to use it. They don't know yet what is an adjustment screw, what is a pivot screw, what is a post hold screw. So again, I save that tool for when you know what you're doing, or when you have someone that can guide you every single time you use it. Same thing with reed tools. If you don't have a teacher that is showing you exactly how to scrape on a tip or a heart or parts of the reed, you shouldn't have a knife. You don't know how to use it. You don't know where to best use it. So again, even like Brian was mentioning earlier, that even in most schools today, you can't have knives. You can't have razor blades and all of these tools that are so helpful to us earning our living holding this instrument, but are basically illegal now in a school system. So again, one great tool is the Reed Geek. It's a sharp little tool that you can use for clarinet, saxophone, bassoon, oboe reeds that does a minimal amount of work for adjustment, but is not giving it's not a dangerous tool. It's not any more dangerous than the instrument itself. So again, and that's something that a band director, likely could have or would have, depending on their instrument as well that they play. So again, tools, to me, it's very black and white. A beginning student shouldn't have them. The tools that they should have are the instrument, a swab, cork grease, a pencil, a tuner, and a metronome. The technical tools for adjustment of the instrument or reeds, they should get those when they need them, based on when the teacher gives them to them as they grow and become more proficient at the instrument.
Great. Thank you very much. And we do have some videos on our website where Brian has actually shown how to work on some reeds without using tools. Some of the things that you can do, and some of the things that you can do with that Reed Geek once you're starting to learn. But we do recommend that you do it under supervision, or at least the student does it under supervision. For you band directors out there, those videos would be great if you want to get a Reed Geek for your classroom, something that's not a sharp object that you have to be worried about. But then look at some of the videos that Brian has put together. They do a wonderful job of showing stuff that you can do to help get through band class.